Sreenivasan here, and welcome to another What the Facts video. Hello everyone, and welcome to the end of all your questions about Roger's passive and Demon Hunter's sword. Now, why am I talking about Roger's abilities and this item when I already made videos about it? It's because your additional questions are valid, and it is important for us to find out the truth. So let's start it off with Roger's passive. So the human form passive is pretty clear. It slows down enemy movement when you hit them with basic attacks. Now the wolf form, on the other hand, needs some testing, I think. In my own words, this passive means that if Roger does basic attacks on an enemy, the more HP they lose, the more damage his basic attacks do. Now let's make sure that that is the case. But before that, remember that Roger's basic attacks are physical damage and can be reduced by armor. So calculating percentages would be a pain for me because I suck at math. Now let's see it in action. We're gonna hit a full HP Akai with consecutive attacks until he dies. Let's observe each basic attack damage value and find out if what I said is true. Okay, so as you can see here, we started with 111 attack on this full HP Akai. Then it gradually increased as his HP goes down and ended with 293 on the last hit. So it really does what it says, and if you do a bit of math there, 293 is almost 300% of 111. So it went from 0% added damage and climbed up to a maximum of 250 to 300% something. But then again, I suck at math. And also, take note that Roger's basic attack and the passive are not two separate numbers. They are added up and displayed as one damage value. Okay, so moving on. Does this passive apply to multiple targets? This one's easy. So we take Akai here and put him beside Vexana's husband, and then we hit Akai. So the first damage we did to both of them is 140 to Akai and 141 to the jungle creep. Now notice that on each hit, the damage we deal on Akai increases since he's our main target, but the jungle monster receives a static 141. So no, that means that Roger's passive only works on the main target and not on the surrounding enemies. Also, his passive does not work on minions. It's gonna be the same damage regardless of their current HP. And it also doesn't work on towers. It works on jungle monsters, lord, and turtle, but stops at 60 bonus added damage, which it says as well in the description. So for example, if you do 100 damage to them, you can only increase it up to 160 via your passive. Okay, so I hope that clears up Roger's passive. But wait, let's talk about Demon Hunter's sword. It says that it will deal 10% of your target's current HP per basic attack. Now, if you're a bit confused about that, please go check out my video about this item, and it should show you clearly how it works. But for short, if the enemy has high HP, this item's passive will deal higher damage, completely opposite of Roger's passive. Now let's find out if they stack together. So I got Roger here with the sword, and he's in wolf form. His first attack deals 2 damage values, 345 and 163. Now can you guess which one belongs to his passive and which one is from the Demon Hunter's sword? Time's up. 345 damage came from Demon Hunter's sword since it does more damage on high HP enemies, and 163 is Roger's basic attack and passive. Now here's the fun part. If you remember the passives of Roger and Demon Hunter's sword, these next lines should make sense. As Akai's HP goes down, Demon Hunter's sword will slowly lose damage on each hit, and Roger's basic attacks plus passive will grow stronger. So it's like they're slowly meeting in the middle of Akai's HP. So the big question is this a good item on Roger? It's a yes and a no. Yes, because Demon Hunter's sword works well on full enemies to quickly bring that down to less than 50%, so Roger's passive can be stronger and take full effect. And no, because they can't be both high damage at the same time. If the enemy's HP is greater than 50%, it's the Demon Hunter's sword who owns. If the enemy HP is less than 50%, then Wolfie's passive owns. But as you can see here, they clearly stack together, no questions about that. There are 2 damage values, his basic attack with his passive plus Demon Hunter Sword's passive. Now, can Demon Hunter Sword crit? Let's find out. So as you can see here, one of the 2 damages is a crit, and here we can see Demon Hunter Sword's damage. It's low because the enemy's HP is low, so his basic attack plus Wolf passive does crits, but Demon Hunter Sword's damage did not. So no, Demon Hunter Sword's passive cannot hit. Now, does Demon Hunter Sword affect multiple targets? Let's see. There are 2 damages on Akai here and 1 on the jungle monster. So no, Demon Hunter Sword passive only works on your main target. And lastly, does this work on basic attack with piercing or area of effect passives? Alright, so we got Moskov here. He's going to do a basic attack on the jungle creep and then pierce through to Akai. As you can see, there's a basic attack plus Demon Hunter Sword passive on the jungle creep and just 1 damage on Akai from Moskov's piercing passive. No Demon Sword passive there. So are we good? Are we clear? Alright. I hope this clears up everything about Roger's passive and Demon Hunter Sword. Again, I thank you so much for watching and thank you for asking these questions, because you give me ideas, you give me something to create that I can give back to you. Again, my name is Shinmen Takizo and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!